Right, part two, diesel bike. The blackstrap molasses is yet to be made into beer. I mean, that's part of my economy drive, 20 pence a pint. It's got quite a nice coffee flavour to it, that has, so I'm looking forward to that. Just waiting for my bucket to arrive. But in the meantime, I'll have to fall back on some Excelsior. Right, so driving the rear wheel, we've got ourselves a mid-drive from a four-wheel drive unit. Now as we've seen out before, the 1.9 TDI bike that's already been seen on YouTube, that uses a Audi TT transfer box. I wanted something a bit lighter than that, so I've gone with this, and I'm hoping it's going to be strong enough to do it. So what do you think? What do you think of that? There's quite some, it's quite a sturdy looking thing. When you look at it, I'm trying to get some scale there to it. And it's off of a 350 Honda quad bike, a fully four-wheel drive one. Now I took a chance. It's only cost me £22. I wasn't sure if it was going to be heavy duty enough, but to me it looks like it is. So I'm very happy with it. It's in good condition. It must be 30-year-old, but it's not a mark on it. All insides are all great. It also came with this drive cog. That's the output shaft. Fits on there. That might come in handy for as some sort of a transfer device, because I've got to make these splines, which are different to the splines on the wheel that I'm going to drive. More of that later. But that could come in handy, you know, with 4 holes drilled in it, bolted to whatever I'm driving, and then it can slide on that shaft. That's just something to think of. Later on, there's some other bits that came with it, a gasket, the bolts that mount it to whatever it's going to mount to. That saved me a few quid. Those are the bolts these bolts, I've actually pulled it apart. Just a minute, bear with me. Bugger. There we go. So as you can see, it's a fairly sturdy unit. Right, I've also modified, I've given it a lick of paint, cleaned it up, painted it. Now there's no way to get oil in and out. It needs to be oiled, so I've drilled my own points to get oil in and out. Just there. There's a point. That's the drain hole. It's only 6mm, so it won't drain quickly, but it'll drain. The fill hole, I've gone a bit bigger. I tapped it, but the thread, there's just not enough width of material there, so I've just hammered in a wooden piece of wood, tapered piece of wood. I mean, it works in wine bottles, doesn't it? Corks. Might have a cork in it later on. I might upgrade to cork. The little screw that I've put in there is just a number plate screw. The threads weren't so good, but a plastic number plate screw ain't going to make them threads any worse. If it does work, I mean, I could modify that, well, have a piece of aluminium sort of welded on, or just weld and drill and tap that. So let's, so let's put this back together. Right. So the drive ratio. Motorcycle final drive shafted and gear, but something like 3 to 1 or 1 to 3. One revolution of the shaft gives 3 revolutions of the wheel, I think. I can't remember. All I do know for sure is car drive systems are totally different. It's 1 to 1. One revolution of the drive shaft gives 1 revolution of the wheel. So this unit, we want it to be 1 to 1, a gear ratio of 1 to 1. So what have we got? Again, I took a chance. What have we got? So there we are. We're at 12 o'clock. There we're about 12 o'clock. Now that's the output shaft. So this is the input shaft. So let's go with it. So we're approximately no, sorry, oh shit, hang on a minute. No, that's it. That's right. That's correct. Hang on a minute. Got myself, lost myself here now. That's going to be after the input. One revolution of that input shaft gives 3/4 on the output shaft. Now what does that mean? We're going to reduce the drive ratio by 25%. So that means that, so currently, so if that's going to be the drive, right, so if I'm going to use a Peugeot 205 TDI engine, it does 112 miles an hour. 112 miles an hour at 4,000 RPM. On a 175 65 14 tyre. That has a circumference of 1,778 millimetres, and it will turn 101,372 times at 180.24 kilometres per hour, which is its top speed, 112 miles an hour. So if I reduce that now by 25%, we're going to be looking at a speed of 84 miles per hour. The wheel will turn 76,029 times, and the